Good evening and welcome to your City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 1st, 2020, and it is 7 p.m. In an effort to minimize the spread of COVID-19, Governor Newsom issued an executive order that temporarily suspended requirements of the Brown Act. Given this executive order, the Laguna Niguel City Council chambers are closed to the public until further notice. Members of the public are strongly encouraged to observe the City Council meetings live online via YouTube live streaming that can be accessed on the city website. Members of the public may submit comments on any agenda item or on any item not on the agenda by email to the city clerk at egomez@cityoflagunaniguel.org. All comments received prior to discussion of the agenda item will be read into the record up to the time limit to 3 minutes. Any portion of the comment not read out loud due to time restriction will still be included in the written record. The City of Laguna Niguel thanks you in advance for taking all precautions to prevent the spread of COVID-19. City Clerk Gomez, please call roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Rains.
Present.
Councilmember Jennings.
Here.
Thank goodness you're here. Councilmember Genoway.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Menegar.
Present.
And Mayor Davies.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to ask Councilmember Jennings to provide the invocation, followed by Mayor Pro Tem Menegar to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Thank you very much. If you would please bow your head. Father, we come before you tonight with hearts full of gratitude for your love and support. So many have come before this council in years past, praying for your outpouring of blessings on the decisions made here. We thank you for those blessings and for your guiding wisdom in all that we've done. I thank you especially tonight for your presence in both the dark times and the shining days of life, and for the privilege to serve others. We ask you tonight to bless those that have chosen to represent others in public service. Be with Kelly and with Rishi and with Sandy as they take office tonight, and give them your abundant peace and infinite guidance on all that is to come. Be with Fred and Elaine as they continue their service, and bless our new council in ways we do not yet know how to ask. Shelter each of their hearts and guide their minds as they act in service to others through you. You are our God, and we entrust you with all that we are, our hopes and our fears and our dreams of all that there is to come, trusting always in your presence and love. In your holy name, amen.
Would you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the greatest country on the planet Earth, and repeat after me. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, at this time, I would like to ask Mayor Pro Tem Menegar and Councilmember Jennings to join me in the welfare presentations.
Now we have a presentation for our current mayor and outgoing mayor, Lori Davies. The first one is the plaque for being the mayor of the greatest city in the county of Orange and 442 cities in the state of California. More gifts from the great city of Laguna Niguel.
I'm not going to tell you to stop.
A trophy from the city of Laguna Niguel.
By the way, this is thank you for your service to Laguna Niguel, Lori Davies, 2012 to 2020.
And a commendation from the greatest chamber in the state of California, Laguna Niguel Chamber of Commerce. And a certificate of recognition from the one and only from the great county of Orange, the 5th District, Lisa Bartlett.
Thank you.
And a certificate of special congressional recognition by our Congressman, Harley Rudo.
Thank you.
At this juncture, I would like to ask the founding mayor, Senator Pat Bates.
Oh my, these videos of these presentations have to go in the Historical Society. So, councils in the 20, 30 years can see what we were still able to do in spite of the pandemic. But Lori, we have a certificate of recognition that will be replaced with a resolution. That will be actually for both of the outgoing council members, which is usually our tradition, but we need to get all of your wonderful accomplishments, all the wonderful things you have done to move our city forward, and keep it as beautiful as it was when you were elected, and made it even more beautiful as you move to your next assignment. So it's my pleasure to provide you with that, Lori. So you can just kind of keep it in your suitcase, and then we will replace it because you may want to put it in your new office, wherever that might be, in the Capitol or here with the local district office. And you can just use that one as when you want to carry something with you, because it's going to be a little easier to transport than the rezos, which are higher. So we should be getting a list of your accomplishments, and they'll be on an official Senate resolution with all the whereases that you deserve. So congratulations. Wish you the very best.
And this is the last formal presentation for our Madam Mayor. The floor is yours. Okay. Then we're going to move on.
Okay, well, obviously, Councilmember and former Mayor Jennings is going to be leaving us after 4 incredible years. So with that, we'd like to honor you tonight with this beautiful, from the city of Laguna de Gal, this beautiful statue. Of course, from the Chamber of Commerce and all the work you've done with the small businesses.
Oh, thank you very much. Love the chamber.
We have Supervisor Lisa Bartlett from the 5th District.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Congressman Harley Ruda.
Harley, thank you. I'm certain you're watching, probably.
And Senator Bates, if you'd like to come back up. Yeah, sorry, we should have just did a double.
Congratulations, John Mark, and for all that you have done for the city. Your year as mayor was fantastic. We had that celebration that we never, and I hope you'll be back, because don't you all agree that we have to have the 30th anniversary celebration? It's got to be a big one, you guys. And interestingly, tonight, it's December 1st, correct?
Yeah,
And what was it? 31 years ago now, we were over in the gym starting the new city. We had a crowd and cookies. I saw there's cookies out there, so at least you got that, you guys. But you did a fantastic job leading through a very difficult time, John Mark, and certainly a happy time that got cut short. But we will hope you're back, and of course, we will thinking about you every time we go through In-N-Out Burger. We'll say, this is John Mark's new home, right, guys? That you're to be selected to work for that wonderful organization is another testament, I think, to your leadership qualities. So we wish you the very best. And again, we will have a much more beautiful reso for you too. It'll probably arrive sometime in January, because right now things are very slow up there, as you know. Same problem getting together and having people produce the things. So congratulations too on your new job. And we know that we will keep you close to our heart and close to our home, because we're not going to let you go. You got a lot more to do for Laguna Niguel, correct? You're up.
Okay, at that point, we're going to go on up to the dais, and we're going to say a few words. Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you. You must have gotten my registry for my new office. So I get to take a lot of things off that checklist. All right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and say a few words and then we'll go into public comment, correct? All right. Obviously, this is a bittersweet moment for not only myself, but I know for Councilmember Jennings. And I'm usually a short and sweet person in regards to conversation, so I'm just going to take a few words, maybe a little bit more than normal, because this is actually the appropriate time. 8 years ago, I was sitting where a lot of you are sitting right now, and honestly, I had no idea what the next 8 years would bring. I remember my husband sitting there almost as if I was a child in 5th grade, and I'm up there, and he's like, "Get down from there, Lori, before they see you." And who would have known? No, I was really blessed with serving our incredible city. As a council, we were able to accomplish more than I think any of us expected. And again, it's never I, it's all of us as a whole. Over the last 8 years, working with our police services, we were able to provide programs to our residents, such as girls' empowerment classes, anti-bullying classes, prescription drug prevention programs, and a memorial that is set up at our park. Safe teen driving classes, seniors and scams, as well as increasing our neighborhood watch program by over 30%. All of these programs contribute to making our city one of the safest cities, not only in Orange County, California, but the United States. We were able to put the first taste of Laguna Niguel and work closely with our chambers and local businesses, as well as shop locally. Working with the ACCOC, trip to DC and Sacramento, we brought awareness and eventually federal changes in insurance fraud regarding sober living homes. Also with ACCOC, we were able to get a bill passed, which is normally unheard of, with creating the first joint nonprofit, private and public agencies to get funding for affordable permanent housing in Orange County. Serving on the League of Cities allowed us to be at the table when it came to local control and opposing bills that took our control away. As a director of OCTA, we were able to bring OC Flex as well as Future Trolley to our cities. And let's not forget to mention that we got to be part of the biggest CIP project, the Crown Valley project, splash pad, amphitheater, bridge, parking, and of course, our new community building. For those that say you can't accomplish anything at local level, just haven't had the right council and staff to work with. I want to thank all of the incredible, talented council members that I've had the opportunity to serve with, starting with Linda Lindholm and Robert Ming, as well as Senator Bates. If it wasn't for you insisting that I run in 2012, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I was blessed to have served with the late Mayor Jerry McCluskey. He was a very special man to me. I'm so much for the better having the opportunity to have become friends and colleagues with him. He was one of a kind, and I miss him dearly. To my current council, thank you for all your support during these last 8 years, 4 years, as well as during my campaign for assembly. Don't start crying. I know. The beauty of our council is that we all bring something unique to the table. Thank you for giving. Thank you for always giving my husband chocolates at the end of the meetings, since I don't really ever cook. And so they would all give me their chocolates on the dais. So I'm not sure what he's going to do. Thank you, but we'll see. I also want to thank our incredible professional staff and directors for all your hard work and the time that you put in to make us look good. I just can't tell you how blessed we are, because that's why our city is so good. You make us look good up here. You do the work, and we know that. Although my husband is working tonight, he's the one that I need to thank the most. As my colleagues know, without a very selfless spouse, we could not have accomplished all the things we've done these years. Neil, thank you always for being my biggest fan and supporter. Not once did you ever complain that I wasn't home at night because of meetings or events. Now we can take on a new venture, and I could not have done it without you. And finally, to my new council members, if I may say a few words. First of all, congratulations. We're in great hands having you taking over. And for what it's worth, and speaking from experience, this is something new you are taking on. Utilize your staff. Ask questions at your agenda reviews. Allow them to get information for you. Listen and be open-minded when it comes to making decisions. You might be surprised to find that one of your council members has a better solution or idea than the one you came up with. Trust me, I've been there. Remember, it's not if you're right, it's what's right for the good of the city as a whole. Although I'm leaving the council, God has given me the opportunity to work with all of you as well with the 73rd Assembly District. Know that as your assemblywoman, I will work as hard as I did as a council member and mayor to always represent you in the best light. Look forward to seeing you all in Sacramento. God bless, and thank you so much. All right, it's your turn.
How in the world you did that without crying, I have no idea. So this is what it looks like to not do it without crying. So for those of you who know me and know that I feel things deeply, so there is zero chance I'll make it through this. Probably through the first couple of sentences without breaking down. So that's okay. So as my journey as your council member and your mayor pro tem and your mayor come to an end, I want to extend my deep and abiding appreciation to all my family, my friends, and my fellow residents and my colleagues for the true privilege of a lifetime in representing you on the Laguna Niguel City Council. For those of us that have had the honor of receiving the public's trust, we must treat these positions at the higher calling that they are, and something that is worthy of our best efforts and the better angels of our spirits. Notwithstanding the chaos of recent events, and with all that I am, I believe that public service is indeed a noble endeavor that must be entrusted to those with the compassion, the experience, and the vision to work on behalf of us all. And it has been my constant goal to bring only peace, honor, and respect to this position. I commit to history the task of interpreting as it will the full measure of my efforts for this great city. These past 4 years have been a time of unprecedented challenges, tremendous changes, and remarkable opportunities. That was for you. All of which, from my view of the world, have resulted in our community growing stronger, more secure, and stronger than ever. To the residents of Laguna Niguel, I say thank you, and thank you again for the true privilege and honor to serve your city on this city council. During each of the past 4 years, we've ensured Laguna Niguel always had a balanced budget with zero debt, even as we found new and creative ways to expand the scope and coverage of our services that we provide, the professionalism that we demand, and the dedication that we require. On my first day as mayor, I made a pledge to you that during my term, Laguna Niguel would adopt its first ever comprehensive strategic plan, where we would be intentional about setting about our priorities for the next 30 years. That process involved sending out more than 26,000 surveys to our residents. Thank you very much, by the way. And businesses, and asked for their input on the future of our city. And man, did you all respond. From your insights, we learned that public safety is your top priority, that quality of life means everything to you, and keeping Laguna Niguel financially secure must always be a priority. From there, we adopted Laguna Niguel's first ever strategic plan called Laguna Niguel 2050, The Pursuit of Happiness. And I still love that title. It's a good one, yeah. And that plan will continue to set the course for Laguna Niguel for decades to come. For all of the past 4 years, Laguna Niguel has been honored to be one of the safest, most peaceful cities in the nation. This was no accident. Rather, it was the intentional effort of both this council and our tremendous police services. Public safety is the intentional byproduct of law enforcement acting in a benevolent and professional manner with the united support of this city council. Where many cities have been forced to cut their budgets, I'm very proud that during my term, Laguna Niguel expanded the number of deputies patrolling our streets and community policing services they provide, resulting in extraordinarily fast response times and, more importantly, secure neighborhoods. You know, back in the day when outsiders tried to build a homeless encampment at our city hall, we fought back and stopped those efforts in their tracks. Rather than accepting homelessness as a given, like some cities have done, your city council once again did the right thing by leading Orange County to address these problems. I was honored when we were elected by 24 cities in Orange County to serve as your representative to the newly established Orange County Housing Finance Trust. And then being twice elected to serve as their founding chairman, where we worked to regionally set about immediately raising more than $25 million and funding 467 permanent supportive housing units across Orange County. No other city or county in the state can match the speed and results that we've achieved in taking so many people off the streets and placed on a path toward self-sustainability. All of those efforts came from existing revenues with absolutely no increase in your taxes. We did what Sacramento wanted us to do, which was to find a way to use the money we already had to do something our county had long since needed. Given the success with the Laguna Niguel strategic plan, I also called for the first ever strategic plan for the Housing Finance Trust, which I'm pleased to say was also adopted later that year. These last 4 years have brought tremendous beautification efforts to Laguna Niguel, and I appreciate what you said about that, Pat. I think that's true. We built a state-of-the-art facility at Crown Valley Community Center, and that project was completed on time and came in hundreds of thousands of dollars under the budgets approved by this council. It is a site that will serve our residents for decades to come and is truly indeed beautiful. We also installed beautiful new entry monuments, paved dozens of miles of streets, updated our community parks across the city, and installed millions of dollars of capital improvements throughout Laguna Niguel. All of this was again paid for in cash with zero debt. As my colleagues know, being on city council is also a commitment to our region, where we take responsibility of improving the lives of residents and businesses in Orange County and beyond. During the past 4 years, I've been honored to be not only in the Housing Finance Trust, but a trustee for the Orange County Mosquito Vector and Control District, a director of the Pacific Symphony, a representative of the Orange County City Selection Committee, as a director of the California Joint Powers Insurance Authority, and a liaison to the Capistrano Unified. I would be lying if I said I hadn't created an entire list of all the ad hocs which are on the sheet in front of me, but I think I'm going to pass that because apparently there are a lot of them. Perhaps one of my favorite things and most fulfilling roles as your mayor was founding and serving as the chair of the 30th Anniversary Committee, where we spent the full year honoring our past, celebrating our present, and planning our future, including the first ever Laguna Niguel Carnival. And I strongly encourage every future council, if you want to have fun, continue that great event. Little did we know that planning our future would become so important. When the COVID-19 came to Laguna Niguel, we were ready for it. But of course, we paid an all too great a price with the loss of friends and of neighbors to this abominable disease. We are far from finished in our fight to rid ourselves of this plague and restore ourselves to a place of comfort and peace. But at the time of this writing, Laguna Niguel has replaced the funds that we lost in revenues from closed businesses, and we continue to be in solid financial shape with our revenues trending positive. We're not out of this, but at least we have a solid foundation to work from as we work together to keep our residents healthy and prosperous. Few things mean more to Laguna Niguel than our love for our military, and I'm so proud of the efforts that we made these past 4 years for all those who have ever served in uniform. Laguna Niguel is the proud sponsor of 3 military units to which our city has given thousands of hours each year in support of our veterans and members of the military. And we've also installed priority parking for veterans right here at City Hall, along with a dedicated reserve seat in City Council chambers honoring our prisoners of war and those who continue to be missing in action. As I look around the council chambers this evening, I'm mindful of the significant leadership changes that have also come to City Hall. The leadership of our remarkable city has been recast and is without question, I believe, second to none. I want to personally thank City Manager Letourneau, Chief of Police McDaniel, City Attorney Ennis, Deputy City Manager Justin Martin, City Clerk Gomez, Public Works Director Scott, Parks and Recreation Director Rivera, Community Development Director Orduña, Finance Director Henderson, and of course, our Fire Chief, for the overwhelming work that they've done on behalf of this city and on my behalf, true, in service to others. You are each worthy of abundant praise for your commitment to serving others, and I am eternally grateful for your many acts of kindness and support for me these past few years. And I give you tremendous credit for those accomplishments. Of course, none of this could have been possible without the support of my family. Now this is going to be the hard part.
No, if you drink water, you can't cry at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I think it makes me cry more, though. Is that possible?
Take it from a planner.
That's a good idea. As many of you know, Kelly and I met right across the hall at City Hall at a city event, so it's fitting that both of us have a love and commitment for this great city. I'm so extraordinarily proud of you tonight. Sorry. And I love you very much. That's start? Think
You can do this.
I can do it. I don't think there's enough water up here, so
You can do it.
I should just pour it on me. That would be,
That works too.
wow, this is surprisingly hard. To my children, Grant and Brooke, your dad couldn't love you more, and I'm so very sorry.
Grand attorney, you can make it.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll save that part for later. I did want to take a break, though, for just a second and make a presentation if Kelly and Brooke could join me. Well, they're in my household, so
That's true.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Nice, John Marco. My husband's getting his chocolate.
Needed a breather. Yeah,
Can
thank
you
you.
finish this up?
Yeah,
You got it.
I got this.
You got it.
That helped. I want to say thank you to my folks who are watching, I think, live tonight on TV, for all their tremendous love and support and their mentorship. And there's a segue there. As many of you know, the reason I decided to not seek another term is because I took this incredibly fortunate job at In-N-Out that was really a chance of a lifetime. It's been a blessing in every sense of the word. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to work at one of the best companies anywhere. So this last month, I got an award, but it's a weird award. It's called the Mentor Award. It's not weird, I guess, exactly. It's very honorable, but I got an award called the Mentor Award, but I don't get to keep it. My job is to pass it out. And I have to pass it out to somebody that has been a mentor throughout my life. And no one could deserve this award more than my folks. Wow, water. So on behalf of a grateful son, I present the In-N-Out Mentorship Award to my parents, Paul and Carol Jennings. It's actually pretty cool. You should see it. Heavy. And importantly, I want to say a tremendous congratulations to Lori on your election as our assembly member in Sacramento. It has been a true privilege to serve with you these past 4 years. And I've been so thankful for your friendship, your ceaseless encouragement, and your never-ending support. You will be an exceptional representative in Sacramento, where you will blend of faith, focus, and friendship is exactly what we need to guide California. And we will all be praying for your success. Thank you. And to Fred and Elaine for your friendship and support these many years. The funny thing is, in 2014, I had the pleasure of running against Fred and Elaine and losing, by the way. Little did I know that losing that year came as a blessing, and that was the year that I met Kelly, continued serving on the Planning Commission, and got to know you both as we served our community together. They have both been tremendous friends and extraordinarily close family relationships, and I'm grateful and proud for your remarkable service to Laguna Niguel and beyond. And to Sandy, it's been a great 2 years. Thank you for all that you've done. I wish you well. And I'll be praying for you and Rishi and Kelly and the rest of the council as often as I can, I promise. And now the time's come for me to step aside and entrust our city to its future leaders, challenging them only to exercise the same grit and determination that all those that came before them. To Kelly, you have my love, my appreciation, and my never-ending support as you use your inordinately special grace and tremendous compassion to lead this great city. To Rishi and Sandy, I extend the warmest congratulations to you both on your election and wish with all that I am that you both will be wildly successful in your endeavors and find this experience rewarding, humbling, and fulfilling in so many new ways. The torch of hope, of responsibility, and of peace has now been passed to each of you, and I challenge you to use your positions for good, for compassion, and for the better angels of your spirit, as you guide us as we onward go, lighting the ways of time for generations to come. Thank you all, and Godspeed. Laguna to go.
You could write for a Hallmark. Beautifully done.
Well,
Well, that concludes our presentation. So we'll now move on to public communication.
thank goodness, by the way.
I know.
Thank you all for that.
All right. Please be aware that the time limit will be 3 minutes for each public comment. City Clerk Gomez, do we have any public comments to read into record?
Yes, Mayor, I have 6 comments this evening. I'm going to set the timer just to make sure they're all within the 3 minutes. As you may know, the Iranian American Chamber of Commerce was founded here in Laguna Niguel to support small business owners and entrepreneurs. I am writing to you, and I hope you share my concerns at the City Council meeting on 12/1. This morning, I have received multiple complaints about a large event held at the Crown Valley Park on Thanksgiving Day. The organizer, Peggy Hall, the founder of thehealthyamerican.com, claims that they had over 300 people in attendance for this no mask event and had charged $30 per person. Peggy also claims that OC Sheriff did show up and stayed for the event. As an advocate for small business owners and a resident of Laguna Niguel, I would like our city manager and city council to comment as to what happened to Safety First. Why did the city allow such a gathering when we were all obeying the CDC guidelines, staying at home, and wearing masks in public? What happened to patrolling our community park and protecting our residents? I hope the city takes proper action against Peggy Hall and actively work to protect us from those who plan to disobey the rules and impact our community. I hope our city sends a clear message that everyone must work together to help slow down the spread of the virus, wear a mask, and tolerate the rules until it is safe. We all need to go back to our workplaces, and we need our small shops and restaurants to stay safe and open. Sincerely, Shani Moslehi, President of LA and Orange County Iranian American Chamber of Commerce. The next comment is from Stephanie Otto. Dear Mayor and City Council members, I have been talking with City Manager Tammy Letourneau regarding the unauthorized event held at Crown Valley Park on Thanksgiving Day. I am happy to hear that the investigation is ongoing regarding this event. As a 10-year resident of Laguna Niguel, a mother of 2 teens, and as a former candidate who received over 11,000 votes in the recent municipal election, my request is that the city use its full abilities and solicit the help of other agencies if necessary to take to task the organization that held this illegal event. This was not a protest event, which would be protected by the First Amendment during the pandemic. This was a fundraiser for the Healthy American, in which attendees were charged to attend. Attendees also brought food and had a Thanksgiving potluck. Conveniently, the owner of the company has removed all information from the company website regarding the event that occurred. The event sold out on the website, and we know from photos that social distancing and mask wearing was not practiced. As City Council members, your number one priority is public safety, and now in the midst of a global pandemic, we residents request you take an active leadership role in protecting public health. After a recent review of the political material distributed in the recent election, 2 candidates, Sharma and Raines, mentioned protecting public health. I expect you both to live up to your campaign promises and will diligently hold you to task. I understand that this was a secret event and that the OCSD patrol could not have known about this in advance. Because of this reason exactly, I would request more diligent patrolling of the parks by either OCSD or code enforcement during the pandemic. We know the individual who runs the Healthy American lives in a neighboring city and is overtly see her public social media disregarding the governor's pandemic public health orders. I look forward to holding you to your campaign promises over the course of your leadership and welcome healthy discussion regarding the issues that concern the people who live in this city that we all love. Right now, public health is priority number one. Let me emphasize what the word public means in public health. It means we are all affected by each other's choice on how to conduct our health. Schools require vaccines so that there aren't measles outbreaks in our schools. Coronavirus is the same thing. The actions of one person affects others. That makes it public, and that makes it your domain and your responsibility. As the old saying goes, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. The next comment is from Valerie Birchfield Rhodes. My name is Valerie Birchfield Rhodes, and I've been a resident of Laguna Niguel for 23 years. Like the rest of the world, I've been working hard to stay informed about COVID safety protocols and do what I can do to keep my family and my community safe. As a result, our family canceled our small backyard gathering for Thanksgiving and limited our celebration of the holiday to 4 immediate family members. So it was with alarm that I saw photos of our beautiful Laguna Niguel Community Park, filled with maskless people from our community and surrounding cities, crowded together and sharing a large buffet of food without any regard to social distancing or other CDC recommended guidelines. In the interest of keeping our community safe and preventing future such gatherings, I have a few questions. Was this event apparently organized by Peggy Hall of the Healthy American, approved by the Laguna Niguel City Council? Is this type of event, which utilizes city property, including our lovely amphitheater and stage, permitted absent a formal request and permit? Are there current capacity requirements on city property that were violated by this event that had from 80 to 200 in attendance, depending upon varying reports? What liability does the city incur by having this sort of event take place on our community property with or without permission? Are individuals allowed to profit from an event on city property, as Ms. Hall appeared to having charged $30 to $40 per head? I would appreciate responses to these questions and feedback on how Laguna Niguel can prevent these types of high-risk events from occurring again while we are still battling this worldwide pandemic. The next comment is by Jana Koch. City of Laguna Niguel City Council meeting comments. The Safe Places OC Facebook page group has been informed that a Thanksgiving party of some 300 people organized and promoted by Peggy Hall was held at a City of Laguna Niguel park with some members of the OCSD in attendance. Firstly, it is well known that Peggy Hall is not complying with public safety measures put in place to control the spread of coronavirus. Therefore, it is requested that the City of Laguna Niguel prohibit her from organizing and attending any and all events in your city by serving her with a cease and desist legal action order. Secondly, as the members of the OCSD are hired by the taxpayers of Orange County to protect and serve, not infect and share, it is requested that the City of Laguna Niguel publicly condemn the OCSD for its negligence in participating in and not disbanding said group from gathering on city property, and to furthermore require all law enforcement personnel to wear a mask while outside to protect the public safety within the City of Laguna Niguel. The citizens of Orange County are undergoing huge sacrifices to protect ourselves and fellow citizens during the pandemic. And it is way past time that OC elected officials in every single OC city are vigilant in the war against COVID. Elected officials who do not uphold the public safety of the residents of Orange County should not expect the residents to support them for re-election. Please be aware that citizens who support public safety and health justice are not protesting at your meeting tonight, not because we are not outraged at this kind of gatherings, but because two wrongs don't make a right, and we will not infect others. You cannot publicly praise health care workers and then stab them in the back by allowing such super spreader activities. Thank you. The next comment is by a Laguna Niguel resident. Dear Mayor and City Council members, I am a homeowner in our beautiful city of Laguna Niguel, and I am writing to address the Thanksgiving Day event at Crown Valley Park. The event, organized by Peggy Hall of the Healthy American, a YouTube and web-based presence that promotes anti-mask resistance, brought an estimated 200 to 300 people into Laguna Niguel from far and wide, according to Ms. Hall. Like Ms. Hall, the attendees are vehemently opposed to even the most rudimentary methods of controlling the spread of COVID-19, such as social distancing and mask wearing. The gathering in Crown Valley Park defied public health recommendations and the strong advice of the governor of the state of California, as can be seen in videos of the event. In terms of the legal issues with this event, I have some questions. How is it that this event was allowed to continue for several hours without a permit? Do we need additional surveillance in our park, perhaps video? What are the consequences for an organization or individual sponsoring or conducting unpermitted events on city property? Is the city liable and vulnerable to litigation from unpermitted events? How do we discourage people coming from outside our community from holding such unsafe public events? I have linked to a video Ms. Hall posted to YouTube regarding her event so that you can hear it in your own words. In it, she mentions the fact that people came from far and wide. She notes the presence of a very nice sheriff's deputy that was actually very discreet and I believe was there to help protect us from rabble-rousers. She also praises the public speakers and live music. As a city, we should not allow this type of irresponsible public behavior, and we should prosecute those who violate our ordinances that in this case are protecting public health. Please put this on the next city council agenda. Sincerely yours. And the last comment is from Melody Shore. Dear Lori Davies and members of the Laguna Niguel City Council, with regards to the Thanksgiving event at Crown Valley Park, I'm alarmed and dismayed that you apparently allowed infamous anti-maskers to host a large gathering on your Laguna Niguel property at a time when COVID-19 cases are spiking and in violation of state and county-wide COVID-19 related mandates. The organizers, in turn, used our facilities as a vehicle to help promote their socio-political agenda, reportedly inviting all comers, but then charging $30 apiece for 300 guests. As elected, appointed officials, you are charged with protecting and serving all Laguna Niguel residents, not just the noisy ones or those who share your views. By nature, your job includes, but is not limited to, the enforcement of local health care directives. All of them, not just the ones you personally advocate or endorse. You are also charged with maintaining a safe, enjoyable park experience for families who live in our community. And so far, as I understand it, you are supposed to manage the use of our facilities, in part turning away non-permitted, politically charged fundraising events for which the city collects no revenue. In these aspects of your appointed service, you have failed us. Moreover, you have betrayed the positive, welcoming face of our community, first by your attendance for those you who elected to be there, but also by allowing the event planners a free public platform, a potential super spreader event, to be more specific, using as backdrop our community-owned facilities. I support the right to peaceful assembly. I believe in our constitutional right to free speech, but those freedoms must be coupled with responsibility. Whether we're city residents or government workers, we must respect all local and state laws. Mandates, too, that help protect us from perceived or real harm. I'm shocked that you skirted these duties. And I'm cringing at the false perceptions those event organizers are now sharing on social media. I believe you should issue a statement of public apology to Laguna Niguel residents because you have, whether by benign neglect or overt support for this event, imperiled our health and safety and betrayed our community's reputation. Respectfully submitted, Melody Shore. And that concludes our comments.
All right, public communications now closed. City Manager Letourneau, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I can tell you that that event was not authorized or approved by the city in any way. We did not know or have knowledge of it. And I can also tell you that I have asked for a full investigation into the matter, and that investigation is underway.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, consent calendar. We will now move on to our consent calendar. We have one item this evening, and that is the adoption of resolution number 2020-1347, declaring the results of the general municipal election on November 3rd, 2020. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments?
No, Mayor, there's no comments.
Or we'll close public comments. All right, can I have a motion to approve item number 1 to adopt resolution number 2020-1347, declaring the results of the general municipal election on November 3rd, 2020?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstain? Any object?
No, you're not. Don't.
Motion moved. All right, thank you. At this time, I would like to call a brief recess so we can reorganize and prepare for the new city council members. Thank you, everybody.
Good evening. I would like to call our regular city council meeting back to order at 7:50 p.m. At this time, I would like to welcome our newly elected council members and ask each of you to come forward for the presentation of election certificates and administration of the oath of office by Senator Pat Bates to Council Member Sandy Rains, Council Member-elect Rishi Paul Sharma, and Council Member-elect Kelly Jennings, please.
Okay, you guys, you ready? This is a real test because you're going to have to repeat after me, and I'll try to keep the phrases as short as possible so I'm not challenging you on how much you can remember, because it is an Alzheimer test and you're way too young to get one of those, okay? So let us begin. Raise your right hands and state after me. I, and state your name, do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. All you guys were listening. Did anybody flub it up? No. Oh, good. Then, having faithfully taken the oath of office, you are all now duly installed as council members of the great city of Laguna Niguel. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Senator Pat Bates. We will now move on to our next item, which is comments by newly elected council members Sandy Rains, Rishi Paul Sharma, and Kelly Jennings. Councilmember Rains, the floor is yours.
Wow. I want to, first of all, thank you, Senator Bates, for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. And I want to thank my husband, Maynard. He's out in the audience back there, but and my wonderful girls, Rosie and Nicole. It's an honor today to accept the position again and to serve the city of Laguna Niguel for another 4 years. Today is a very special day. In addition to being sworn in, it's my father-in-law's 99th birthday. He's a decorated World War II veteran, and his sacrifice to our country is what makes today very special because he fought for our freedom. And then my husband and my daughter followed in those footsteps. So my service to our community and to what I do is very minimal compared to what they're doing for our country. So I'm very grateful to all of them and all their service. And I wouldn't really be here without my mom. And it's kind of emotional because she's not here. My mom passed a few years ago, but my mom had a 3rd grade Greek education, and yet she gave more service to our community than anybody that I know. When she passed, there was standing room only at her funeral. And I guess she was always my role model. And she always said that there's so many times when you do things and you might not be appreciated, but it's okay. You just keep doing it. And so today I want to dedicate this day to my mom. And thank you all for your confidence in me again. Thank you. And wait, one more thing. I want to welcome Kelly Jennings to the dais. Molten Eagles' loss is our gain, so we're glad to have you here. Thank you for stepping up and being willing to serve. And once again, I want to welcome Rishi Paul Sharma to the dais. Thank you. I know you've been serving our city for the last 2 years, and we're glad to have you up here to continue to serve for the next 4 years. And with that, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Sandy Rains, the newly elected Councilmember Rishi Paul Sharma. The floor is yours, sir.
I'm hoping that I don't fill the role of the emotional softie up here as I get through this. The good news is that rather than water, they've given me hand sanitizer to drink if I start tearing up. So thank you, everybody. My name is Rishi Paul Sharma. I am no longer a candidate for Laguna Niguel City Council. It feels good to say that. I have a lot of things to be appreciative for. This has been a very unconventional period of time. Not only was it my first election cycle, but it was one of great uniqueness. There are a lot of people to be thankful for. I am very honored today to be standing in the shadows and footsteps of those that came before me to build this great city that we have. Senator Pat Bates, thanks for everything that you've done for our city. Council members-elect, newly council members, thank you for everything that you've done and you've dedicated to the city as well. For those that volunteered time to help us, the resources that you provided to us, both fundamental, emotional, physical, getting out during the hot days with masks on, working hard, all the resources you gave and dedicated. It was the collective we that won this race, and I'm really very humbly appreciative of that. To my family, my 2 little girls, Simone and Margot, you believed in Daddy, and we're sitting up here today. Thank you for all the campaign posters that you drew for me with your crayons. They won the race. For my little boys, Maverick and Remington, you probably won't remember much, but thanks for being good little kids. Most of all, thank you to my wife, Alexis Ray. She's a wonderful team player, very intelligent person. Not only was she committed from the beginning, but she was steadfast through the whole process. She supported us throughout the race, not only as a mother and a wife, but as a business partner. And now she's added to her resume homeschool teacher, substitute teacher, and she's doing wonderful at everything. I really have a lot of respect for you and thank you for all of your support. For those of you that don't know me or are getting to know me, I'm a strong advocate for our personal liberties, of which I hope to never take for granted. For everyone's personal liberties, I hope to stand steadfast. I'm humbly appreciative to be up here today, and I look forward to serving for you for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Sharma. Now, the newly elected Councilmember Kelly Jennings. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Vinegar. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Senator Bates, for being here and swearing this in. It's an honor. So thank you very much. I'm going to read because this is amazing to be up here. So it's difficult to capture what a tremendous honor and humbling experience it is sitting here this evening, and the overwhelming sense of gratitude I have for all of those who supported me during my election. I especially want to thank my incredible husband for all your love, encouragement, and unwavering support. Thank you as well to Brooke for your love and support, without which I would have never thought to take on this challenge. I love you both more than you'll ever know. In addition to being my dear friends, I especially want to formally thank Lori Davies, Fred Minigar, and Elaine Genoway. It means so much to me to have been supported by those of you who know this job so well, yet still put your trust in me. I look forward to all that is to come working with each of you. To my incredible family, friends, and neighbors, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your unbelievable help, your constant words of encouragement, the countless miles of neighborhoods you walked, and the thousands of unnoticed things you have done to make this night possible. Your support means the world to me, and I love and appreciate you all. In these uncertain and often divided times, and on the heels of an election that tests our measure as a country and to the outer limits of our character, I want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who participated in this process, including, of course, all of the candidates and all the voters. While some of you voted for others, I can assure you that your voice will continue to be heard, and your dreams for the city will continue to be valued. I am here to represent all of Laguna Niguel and will endeavor to do all things with compassion and a sense of community. My predecessor left me a plaque that says, "There is no limit to what we can do if we don't mind who gets the credit." I like that. And it is my sincere desire to work with all of my colleagues for the good of our many constituents. Never in my wildest imagination could I have dreamed deeply enough to think that I would someday run for public office. From growing up in a troubled home, to enduring homelessness as a child, to working in public service my adult life, and now to be representing a city I've called home for so long. This is a journey that was truly unfathomable to me just a few short years ago. But grace and the notion of service over self have a way of growing over time. And only through grace could something like tonight ever have a way of becoming true. I'm a living example of how dreams can come true, even to those who could never have dared to dream such things. My goal on council is to serve all the people of Laguna Niguel in a way that values the remarkable trust they have placed in me this evening. Public service is a true privilege, and one I will cherish and honor and respect on behalf of everyone. Thank you again, and I look forward to everything that is to come.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Kelly Jennings. We will now move on to our next item on the agenda, which is the selection of mayor and mayor pro tem. The floor is now open for nominations for mayor. Are there any nominations?
I
I'd like to
nominate Fred Minigar for mayor.
I'll second
second.
that.
Are there any other nominations? I hear none. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
I'll
Any
second.
second? Okay, it was moved by Councilmember Elaine Genoway and seconded by Councilmember Sandy Rains. All in favor say aye.
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 It passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Congratulations, Mayor Minigar.
Thank you. All right. Now we are moving on to the nomination for Mayor Pro Tem. The floor is open.
I would like to nominate Elaine Genoway, please.
Is there any other nominations for Mayor Pro Tem?
I would like to nominate Sandy Rains.
All right. So Councilmember Elaine Genoway was nominated by Councilmember Kelly Jennings, and Councilmember Sandy Rains was nominated by Councilmember Sharma. I would like to second the nomination of Kelly Jennings for Councilmember Elaine Genoway. Any objections? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, the motion carries.
I didn't vote.
Okay, please.
I'm not vote. I'm voting no.
I
Okay.
voted no as well.
Okay, very good. The nomination for Councilmember Elaine Genoway passes by 3 in favor and 2 in opposition. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we are moving on to, let's see what we have on the agenda. I guess it's comments by yours truly and comments by the newly elected Mayor Pro Tem Elaine Genoway. I'm extremely humbled and honored to serve the great city of Laguna Niguel as the new mayor for the second term. Serving the office of the mayor is the highest honor which can be bestowed upon any citizen of our great city. It is beyond my belief that I happen to be the first Persian American mayor in the entire Orange County and also in the city of Laguna Niguel. I have served our great, beautiful, remarkable city for almost 25 years, either as an elected and or appointed public servant leader. As an elected official during the past 7 years, I've been speechless with an overwhelming feeling of gratitude and support from our residents, friends, and acquaintances while serving our remarkable city. I always cherish and put to use my past learning and education. While attending Harvard University John F. Kennedy School of Government in Cambridge, Massachusetts, I used to walk by the monument of President John F. Kennedy and read the following inscription. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Finally, 155 years ago, Abraham Lincoln spoke of government of, by, and for the people. No place has the spirit of his comments been more evident, and nowhere will it be more a reality. I'm very excited and looking forward to working very closely with the entire City Council and our capable city staff. I'm 100% committed to best policies that prioritize public safety, fiscal conservatism, and high quality of life for everyone, regardless of age, party line, personal, and professional affiliations. I also do remain committed to the principles that have made Laguna Niguel a great city to live, work, and play. Let's not forget why we became a city in 1989 via incorporation to have local control over our destiny as much as a general law city can in the great state of California. It goes without saying that we need to identify the deficiencies and rectify them in an orderly manner as we move forward. Let's be extremely mindful that we have been in an unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, which has been impacting inevitably the health, safety, and finance of our citizens and businesses as we navigate through the upcoming year, 2021. I'm so proud to represent one of the most beautiful cities in all of Orange County. I do look forward to work with all of you to serve 66,000 residents of Laguna Niguel collaboratively. Thank you so very much to my city council colleagues, all of you from the bottom of my heart for the honor of being selected as the mayor of our great city. I will carry the torch which was first created and carried by our founding mayor, Senator Pat Bates, and thereafter carried by 16 other capable public servant leaders, along with an outstanding number of past and current city council members. And last but not certainly least, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Julie, who's sitting there, along with my two kids, Justin and Nikki, that are studying hard for UC Berkeley's final exams at home, and they have put up with me for the past 25 years of public service for this great, beautiful, remarkable city. May God bless United States of America and the great city of Laguna Niguel. Go see country. Now the floor is yours, Madam Mayor Pro Tem Elaine Genoway.
Thank you, Mayor Minigar. And thank you to my colleagues for their confidence in me. I look forward to working alongside Mayor Minigar in supporting his leadership for the city this year and charting the course. We all have different talents and skills that complement each other. So I look forward to offering what I can to support Mayor Minigar on his leading the city this year and the objectives of the council. But tonight I want to speak a little bit to something else. Tonight we have two faithful servants to the people and the city of Laguna Niguel who've retired from our city council. Former Mayor Davies and Jennings gave so much of themselves and have left their legacy imprint on our city for generations to come. That legacy comes in many forms, the seen and the unseen. It can be seen in the design and details of Crown Valley Park, the fun of a carnival, creating a strategic plan, and hosting empowerment workshops for high school girls. And the unseen, working together for policies that prioritize public safety, leading a housing trust to provide shelter for the homeless, advocating for local control, and responsible stewardship of our city's assets. You know, I've often heard it said, and especially during this past election cycle, that the Laguna Niguel City Council is a club or a clique that's hard to break into. Tell you, that is so far from the truth. I do have to chuckle when I hear that and sometimes bite the inside of my lips so I don't chuckle out loud when someone is saying that. But, you know, most of us don't know each other until we sit on this dais together. We bring all of our own perspective and our life experiences to the decisions that we make for Laguna Niguel. We may not all agree, and we do offer differing opinions. But once a decision is made, we move forward as one city council with that decision. When I became a council member, I said the same thing that many before me had said. A stable foundation was laid by our early city councils. Thank you, Senator Bates, for all that you've done to lay that foundation for our city. So since that foundation was laid, we needed to keep the ship on an even keel. And actually, in my mind, I hear the late Jerry McCloskey say, our job is to not screw up. So to Mayor Davies and Jennings, thank you for your forward leadership, dedication, and love of this remarkable city of Laguna Niguel. Tonight is the anniversary of our cityhood. Tonight, it's a new city council, and I look forward to working together in the best interests of Laguna Niguel. We all have different perspectives to offer and different areas of expertise or interest, and by truthful and collaborative discussion and listening, we will work towards the optimal decisions for our city and its residents. Our residents deserve nothing less. So congratulations to Sandy, to Kelly, and to Rishi, and welcome back to the dais. Let's make this a remarkable year for Laguna Niguel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes our discussion items. So we will now move on to council reports. Council Member Sandy Rains.
Bring my mic. I wanted to just say that one of the most important things here in our city is the safety of our community. It's always been our number one priority. We do have procedures in this city on when we host events using any of our public property. And I know that many people were concerned about the event, as so am I once I heard about it. So we will, and I promise that I will do everything to make sure that we keep our city safe here, and that we make sure that we are aware, or when we become aware of something that has not been safe, that we take action. At this point, like our city manager mentioned, she has asked for an investigation. So we'll look into that. I do want to make sure that everybody knows and understands that our city is committed to always putting your safety first. And with that being said, that will always be our priority. So just wanted to make a quick comment about that. The holidays are about approaching. This time of year can be a very happy time for a lot of people, but it can also be a very, very sad time for a lot of people. So there's a lot of people that are struggling, that are suffering, and the coupled with COVID-19 right now, the suffering is even greater than it has ever been. So I please ask everyone to be mindful of that. Let's be kinder to each other. Let's think about the fact that we may not always agree with what everyone is doing, but everyone's doing the best that they can under their circumstances. And we don't always know, just because someone has a smile on their face, that means that everything is okay. So I'm just going to ask us to be a very gracious, kind, and thoughtful community in this upcoming months as we embark upon our holidays, and think about that, and put that in your side thought process before you're judgmental of how things are happening or what's happening in our community. We never know. So with that being said, we do have some great events coming up this month to help us kick off the holidays. And the first one will be this Friday evening when we have our Christmas tree virtual lighting, which you can participate on by Facebook Live, I believe, right? Okay. And then I'm going to let somebody else tell all the other details, but that's the kickoff on Friday. So thank you very much, and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Madam Council Member. Council Member Rishi Paul Sharma, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Minigar. Yeah, so basically, again, thank you for the warm invitation tonight, the warm embracement of this council seat. I want to also extend a special thank you to the city staff and city manager Letourneau for helping transition us into position here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Council Member Kelly Jennings, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And I would also like to thank staff as well for all of your help and getting us here. And I look forward to working with all of you. I'm excited for what's to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem Elaine Genoway, do you have any comments?
Just one final comment. I'd like to say thank you to the Yes on O for Cityhood Committee, and happy birthday, Laguna Niguel.
I have no further comments. We are adjourned at 8:25 p.m. Thank you and have a nice evening.